Imagine that, recording things. What? Okay, so I used a similar layout from the Gen courses because I figured they'd be familiar with how to navigate it.
Okay.
Okay, so up top I put all the course information, and similar to, I guess, how they had us do it with Gen 120 and the other courses, I broke down parts of the syllabus.
Okay.
Okay, and I tried to map out when they would be doing things. The rest of this is very similar, and a lot of things you can actually copy straight to your course. So like this page, for example, you can just copy the whole page using this utilities area.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The only thing that's not going to work are course links and assignment links. So you could take, one of your sections and you could develop one of them for the most part, and then you could just copy it across the other sections and just have to go in and do some cleanup.
Okay.
Okay. And that's what I do. I do one section at a time, and then I just copy everything in my other sections.
Where in the utilities do you go into?
So like once I have an area developed and I want to, copy it to another section, I come down here, I open up utilities, I do a course copy. I'll just copy it to something random. This one, no one's gonna look at it. Okay. So I've added in the course, and then I can check the box exactly which tabs I wanted to copy over. Now, if there's a tab with the exact same name, it will copy directly into that tab. So the issue with that is sometimes you get some duplicate items if there were things already in that folder. But if the names are a little different, it won't copy into the other tab, but it'll create a new tab.
Okay.
Okay. And there's lots of things you could choose to copy. I keep it easy, and I mostly just copy content.
If you do one announcement, can you do announcements as well? Or is that advised?
You know what? I've never even tried to do the announcements.
Okay.
So I'm not too sure what it would do. I did try to talk to IT and ask them to activate this add-on so we could post announcements in multiple sections at one time.
Please.
Last semester, and they told me no.
Oh.
But I think it would be worth, I may try and contact them again. So once you click whatever it is you want to do, you just press submit. Depending on how much it's copying, it can take some time, but they'll send you an email when it's done. Usually it's pretty fast. Okay. So I think my assignment area is one of the things I want to highlight. So for me, when I look at my advising students, they really struggle with just figuring out what it is exactly they need to do. So under instructor's assessments, I've literally listed out the things that they were supposed to complete, so they can use it as like a checkbox.
Okay, and all the workshops thing is what I'm dreading to set up because I feel like it's going to take me a while.
Well, in the workshops, I wish we had them now because we could go through the process of setting them all up in the beginning. But what I've done is I've put in, of course, a list of the workshops. It was too long to actually put into the text. And what I've seen is students get confused about what to do after they either go to the workshop or watch it online.
Okay.
So I have a folder for each workshop where they click in, and it's got the video and then whatever they have to do below it.
Where I have access to the assessments, or they email that?
So Isa just put everything into a Google Drive folder, and she attached the assessments to the latest email.
Ooh, okay.
So, but I'll be honest, I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time even managing making sure that I'm getting the videos and the assessments in all the sections. Hot mess.
Okay. So it's probably best like you did it though, at least in terms of breaking it up. Because I have the Google Drive. When I met with her, she shared her screen and then sent me the link for the Google Drive. But I said, the students have access to this? And she's like, yeah, I'm trying to clean it up. I was like, I have anxiety looking at this. Never mind, I can only imagine like how lost our students are. And I told her, I said, I'm not, coming after you, whatever. I said, but this is not gonna work. So looking at what you did probably is like breaking it up between like the mandatory workshops, like you said, the ZU policy, and then the make a folder for live workshops and make a folder for, I guess, the actual Blackboard ones.
So, and I talked to Isa, like when I think when we first did the round, I went back and I talked to her about, like, you have to set a passing grade for the tests, right? We learned that last semester, that you can't just say that you have to take the test, you actually have to pass it. What was the other thing I talked to Isa about?
Is that already implemented or is something we have to do?
She hasn't, I'll have to bring it back up to her. She said she was going to deal with it in the next week's email. I went with a 70. And I told them they have 2 chances to take it. And most of my students have been doing fine. But I don't see any consistency there.
Okay.
So, but this is the approach I took just to organize things.
But you did that for each section though, right? So how many folders you have?
So
or
when
you do it per week, huh?
Sorry, Katie?
You do it per week or you have multiple folders already in terms of the workshops?
So the workshops, I add a folder for when the workshop comes out. And then what I've been doing is whatever videos she shares on the Google Drive, I convert those to movie files and I'm uploading them through course content so that you are able to import them like this. And it doesn't just appear as a link.
Can you do like a 3-second review of how to do that?
Yeah. So, well, for the ones that are already done, and I don't even care if throughout the semester, if you just come and copy stuff over. When you go, okay, back up. So once I download the file that she sends us, it's usually an MP4.
Okay.
So then I throw it in this program online called Zamzar to convert it to a movie file. Blackboard only likes movie files.
Okay.
Then I have to come into my content collection, and when we went online, remember there was this whole thing about people maxing out their Blackboard quotas?
You're right, yeah.
So I upload it into that same shared area. So actually the videos will be there without you even having to do anything because I'm uploading them into this faculty collaboration area in the advising class.
Oh, so I can just come over and...
Yeah, they'll all be here because I'm going to follow the same procedure all term.
Okay.
So once these things are in here, then they can be used in any course. And what I'm doing is I actually only have to set up the video in one section and then it does copy over to the other section. Let's see, workshop. So let's say once I'm ready to like input the video, I go build content. I select video. And my thing is I want it embedded. So whatever I'm gonna call it. I browse my content collection. This is a tedious part. You have to go to institutional content and find that same share folder. Just too many clicks. And then you just press the button next to it and press submit. It's got some, preferences. I've been turning on tracking because when I'm downloading the reports, I'm able to see which students viewed it, which I like.
Okay.
Especially when at the end of the term, will have issues with marks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and then it just embeds like that. All they have to do is press play.
Welcome to Al-Waha.
They're not leaving Blackboard. And I think it's more engaging for it to be visual.
Definitely. And then so there would be an assessment tied to that, right?
Okay, so yeah, so if it's a recorded workshop, they're gonna give us a quiz. Now, the nice thing they're doing this term is making sure that the quizzes are auto-grading.
Beautiful.
So we get out of that grading aspect. So you do have to do this part in every section. So you have to come to course tools, upload the test, and deploy it.
Yeah, once I do one, I'll remember how to do it. The first one will take me a minute just because I know I haven't done it in a while.
It's one of those things you'll remember as you do, right?
Yeah.
If you get stuck, you just let me know and I'll hop on for a minute.
Okay.
So the only bummer is like this link doesn't copy over from section to section. I wish it did.
Okay, that's fair though. But I do like that setup because everything is right there in front of them.
So, and I know one of the things we need to do if we find out we're keeping Advising 100 kind of like this, is this all needs to just get set up from the beginning of the term.
Exactly.
And I get that the workshop stuff has to change here and there, but like all of this formatting,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's just got to get done.
And
Yeah.
over the summer. Way ahead. Speaking of Advising 100, I haven't been to any of, obviously, the last team meetings and stuff, but has there been any conversation about, like I saw the provost email, phase 2 is underway. I'm just concerned, obviously I'm concerned for all of us in our department. Has Reem mentioned anything about what that email means for us? And because the reality is that if we go by what the provost wants, which is new students go to their major advisor after this semester, we're left with what? New students that come in the spring, but that's only a handful of students compared to fall enrollment.
Yep, and I think we talked about this probably a few months ago when we started the term, you and I.
We did?
Yeah, we had a chat very similar to this about what's going to happen next term. Because we found out about this in that initial meeting where what's her face and student success kind of led on to what her plan was. And it was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? I don't know. Okay. So in the most recent Dean's meeting, and I heard secondhand about from the Tea Time Tuesday, both things that happened last week, there's been many people asking Dean Melkis, trying to figure out what's going to happen UC-wide, right? Mm-hmm. Dean Melkis just keeps saying that she doesn't know really what's going on because there's a lot of things that are still undecided. And she just keeps reiterating that she's trying to make sure everyone finds a home for whatever happens. So she's obviously not making promises, but a lot of people are starting to freak out about job security. Now, I did kind of talk to the chair of IDS through my husband. Mm-hmm. And she said that they're trying to come up with a way to cover everyone. But obviously, that's really challenging. And it means that the university would have to be okay with sections being extremely small,
Mm-hmm.
like probably 18 at minimum capacity to run.
Yeah.
What it sounds like, Katie, is that their deadline for phase 2 to decide who's going where is December.
December.
All of the people that transitioned to a new college, so like Lonnie, Lonnie moved to the College of Education. A couple of people in Dubai were transitioned over to CNHS or CHSS in our department. All of those people are supposed to also start teaching in their new home next semester. So that's going to free a little bit of it up now because those people right now are teaching UC courses.
Oh, they are, okay.
Yeah, so like Lonnie's teaching, you know, 220s.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to help. Running classes at a lower load is going to help. If it's online, it's actually a good thing. I have that kind of class size now, and it's nice. I'm able to actually work with them. What I'm afraid of, right? And I don't want to freak you out, but what I'm afraid of is that there's a group of us that are going to be hard to place.
Yeah.
Based on our degrees. And either we'll end up staying with UC, whatever UC becomes, right? Because they're saying UC is supposed to become more of this like academic support entity. Or some of us may get notices because they have to legally give us 6 months.
But
So that's where I was yesterday.
but it's less than 6 months already by now.
Well, they would let us know in December. So their thinking is they would let us know in December, and that gives us essentially until August. So that's happened with other programs since I've been here.
Okay.
That they've kind of phased out is people were given a semester's notice and they had to decide if they were going to accept certain conditions and transfer how their contracts were done, or they transition on to other institutions.
But in that 6 months, they accept whatever changes that they're being offered, or they can leave and not have penalty.
So, okay, so let me walk you through one of the examples. So there is something with credentialing.
You can stop recording too. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Let me pay attention to that now. Okay, so